Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3, where today I'm hoping we can get through a whole episode here with no crashing whatsoever. My computer's a tiny bit haunted, might be too much to hope for, but we'll see. So Jorhul apparently was really close to leveling up last turn and passive XP got him there. I think we're just going to go ahead and finish Woundmaker before we move on to anything else. He is level 13, so he's picked up his chariot. When does he get his flying mount? Next level. Okay. You know, a badass knight on the back of a manticore seems like a pretty, pretty powerful thing.
For chaos.
Okay, so we need to have a plan here. We need to figure out how we're going to deal with Wintertooth. This is just kind of a nothing army, but it's definitely strong enough to break control of some of our stuff. Especially because our ally cannot be bothered to build defenses. Although, you know what? I think you can't really build good defenses in Norska anyway, if I'm remembering our last Norska campaign correctly. And the thing we really want to do here is just find their capital and take it over, right?
Call me.
If we talk to them...
Don't care who you are.
Okay, it's up there.
Your face.
Well, either it's up there or that might be the location of Thrall, of their troll leader. So, I mean, heading in that direction is probably not a terrible idea anyway. But we might want to, Doomkeep's got a 10-unit garrison. I might want to grab something for myself. Just that I have, territory that I actually own in the middle here that we could do some Warband recruitment from, in case things get a little rough. We'll continue creeping forward in encampment mode for the moment, because Bellacore, at the very least, needs all the healing. Alright, our Fighter's Lodge could be upgraded. Yeah, really, I don't think this is worth the money, probably. We're not that far off of being able to pursue this. Let's just save. Do I want to change up our... Right now we have Ruinous... Oh, right. I had Ruinous Bulwark up because we were trying to get enough... because we wanted to have a Chaos Undivided gift in order to benefit from our bonus... that technology that we got. They gave us bonus relationship with certain kinds of factions, right? I mean, honestly, Horrifying Presence isn't terrible. Are we trying to build up to anything in particular here? We want the Hell Cannons, obviously. Eventually, that would be really nice to have. It does feel like that's where we're going, though. It's going to be a long time before we burned enough souls for that. I guess once we have enough, once we have a couple of other armies, Crown of Kings will actually be pretty good. Yeah, for the moment, I guess we'll just keep running it like this. And then, yeah, the movement range, because, obviously. So, yeah, the plan remains. And it won't matter too much if Fator Nyland takes over a couple of Vanaheimling territories if we then just take over Fator Nyland's entire faction. We have no idea where most of the armies belonging to Wintertooth are. In theory, they're a powerful faction. So stuff could run out of the darkness at us at basically any moment. Yeah, that this balance of power bar indicating our relative strength suggests that they probably have 3 or 4 full armies. I am definitely concerned. Okay, Gulbranson's coming home. That's probably a good idea. I think they're going to end up losing a lot of the territory that they took down there without us to sort of push back on the enemies. And it is what it is. Okay. Some Cathayan faction was destroyed.
Maker.
Let's creep up. Here, let's not spend all of our movement in case I need to turn around. Okay, if it had turned out there was an army sitting in the Doomkeep or something.
Snowflakes.
Okay, so after one more turn of rest, actually, if I kick us to normal movement mode, no, we won't quite have enough movement to take out the Doomkeep. We're going to grab this so that we have a nice central territory to launch our attack from, and then also, you know, another set of income buildings would not go amiss. And hopefully we can figure out this whole Wintertooth situation from there. It seems like Wintertooth has just annihilated everybody else in the north except for my vassal. This is the danger of taking out the only other really powerful faction. If the Worldwalkers and Wintertooth both exist, then they at least have to be wary of each other.
As one.
Wow, willing to pay me 5,000 for peace. I wonder what changed. I'm going to decline. I think this is a problem we should probably solve in a more permanent fashion. But that's very interesting. Alright, Goldbranson's army should be large enough to take Trollfjord back. At least prevent that that other army from doing any more damage. Marienburg has been annihilated, probably by the men of the Empire.
You are no Morgar.
Am I allowed to launch attacks in this stance? No, okay.
Obviously.
Alright, this should be a very trivial victory. Casualties low, it says. Let's see what that means in practice.
Hunger.
Higher than I would like. Yeah, occupy and vassalize the Norskin tribe that does not exist. It spawned an army for them, but they have no territories. That army's going to die very quickly.
The first demon prince.
I'm pretty surprised it bothered to spawn an army for them at all, honestly. Let's get a growth building going, and then... I mean, can we build much of a bonus garrison in here? Yeah, we can add 5 units, including some Chaos Trolls. Honestly, that's not a terrible garrison structure. And then if we build military buildings... No, none of the military buildings have actual garrison stuff on them. Does it do any of the purple buildings? No, it's all just warband capacity and stuff. Okay. Try to make sure this thing can defend itself reasonably.
Harbinger.
Alright, cool. We'll be at basically full health in just a moment here. So, what is the next thing in this box? Bonus barrier. You know, when it comes down to it, Be'lakor is going to have to beat that troll in one-on-one combat, almost certainly, because he's gonna,
More power.
what is this? Is it Throg? I keep wanting to say Throg, but that sound... I think I might be thinking of something else. Oh no, Throg is right, okay. Yeah, Throg is terrifying. He's a terrifying combat unit, and he will easily kill any of our other units left to his own devices, so I want to make sure Be'lakor is personal combat stat maxed, so that we have some chance of actually taking the thing down. And then, do we want to pursue any Warband upgrades? We could turn some of our Chaos Warriors into Knights. I mean, we have runaround units, but we could just replace these and then hire in more real Chaos Warriors. Our gifted pool has... Ooh, our gifted pool does have some exalted pink horrors. We're 2 turns away from being able to just turn all of our existing... Yeah, I probably don't need to worry about that just yet. And we have some crummy units from Nurgle. Yeah, okay. Nothing else of terrible import to add. There's a unit of aspiring champions here, which is maybe worth grabbing. What would I drop for them? How do the aspiring champions compare to the spawn? Spawn hit way harder, and spawn have that that Sunder armor ability. The champions have 110 more armor, of course. You know what? I'm going to leave the army like it is. It's fine. Alright, so I believe this turn, yeah, this turn is the turn we hit for population surplus in Albion, but we don't quite have the money to pursue the upgrade immediately anymore. I think we're going to have to wait an extra turn. Oh, interesting. So, Gorsel there, which was the last Marienburg territory, actually did not fall to the Empire. It fell to the Wood Elves. That's a bit of a surprise. Not that it matters terribly to us. We don't care about those elves. But we are going to have to wipe out the men of the Empire eventually, so I guess it does matter to us in the sense that it's nice that they don't have all of that money coming in. Gorsel itself is not terribly valuable, but it's in the same province as the city of Marienburg itself, so them not having that means that they don't get to issue a commandment about it. So we think either Throg or the capital is up here, right? I guess it probably makes more sense to pursue the mountain pass. Let's just go this way.
The Dark Master walks.
Wait, faction encountered Sarl. Oh, I'm seeing territory that belongs to them. Okay, so somebody aside from the Winterteeth does still exist out here.
March.
Yeah, we'll just full speed run. This is part of their homeland. It's not their capital, so we'll probably just ignore it. When we find their original ancestral capital, we'll probably take it over. And, oh, no, we do have enough money. This was not actually 10k, just close to 10k. Alright. You know, if we take one or two more Dark Fortress areas, we will have enough money to start running a second army, which should definitely be worthwhile. We're already down to only 160 factions remaining. People are dying off left and right. A lot of areas are probably undergoing the same kind of consolidation that Norska itself underwent. I gotta tell you, I'm a little bit surprised that we're being allowed to just keep Corone and everything.
Shadows.
The Ecstatic Legions. Okay, you're another Warriors of Chaos faction. Sounds good to me. They're just keeping an eye on us for the moment. It is interesting that this hero is not, like, using any actual abilities on us, though. Just watching us move from place to place. I wonder if that's an indication that maybe the economy is a little bit tight for the Wintertooth. Okay, Men of the Empire are clombing up all of the land down there. Slaanesh is Ascendant, which is, I think, completely irrelevant to us.
Move.
Let's not move all of our movement right away. I don't want to, like, run into an enemy army while I'm in march mode.
So many snowflakes.
So we could just grab the Forbidden Citadel next. It's another just sort of like open territory, no walls, 11 unit garrison. Yeah, look, nobody in there is even wearing armor. Well, sorry, they have 1 unit wearing armor. So we could just walk in there and take it. So now that we have Boonmaker, I suppose we could pursue further Blessings of Tzeentch. So allegiance points gained. This just helps us hang out with Tzeentchian people. Bonus corruption. Flamethrowers. You know? Something to be said for that. Yeah, I think I'm not opposed to being gifted some flamethrowers. So we have another Cursor's Boon up already. Where's the last portal I laid down is all the way over here. I mean, it's not that far from the Doom Keep. We probably don't need to lay down another one just yet, but it's a thing to keep in mind.
Shadows.
It costs 2,000 souls to buy the ability to run a manifestation, even if you didn't defeat a faction of the appropriate type, which I suppose we could try to save up for. I could cut down on our current manifestations. It's just really hard to give up 35% movement speed. We'll probably want to once we're getting close to founding a second army. Wow, they would pay me 3,000 favor for this. Okay. I was going to give it a turn or two before pursuing the Warband upgrades on our pink horrors because of the fact that, obviously, that shit is expensive. But we can probably just go ahead and do it now. So pretty sad to see Leif Gulbrandson get completely wiped out by what looked like a pretty much equal force. I guess we are all alone up here.
I bring the storm.
Alright, so.
You may call me Dark Master.
Yep, no big changes. They don't... Oh, they do gain an ability. What is this ability here? Arcane Mirth. Okay, so as long as they're not in melee, they are feeding us more winds of magic. That's pretty great. Yeah, and it's just like a straight stat upgrade. Can the blue horrors... The blue horrors cannot be upgraded. So this is a good reason to kick the blue horrors out of the army, I guess, and replace them with pink. Is that we can get the really good version of the pink horrors. Am I allowed to pull in gifted units while I'm just on the run? I am, right? Like, I don't have to be in my territory. Let's find out. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll just take the exalted ones for now. We'll level up some normal pink horrors some other time. Do I want to grab the Forbidden Citadel?
You are no more god.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
They shall fall.
Alright, yeah, they have no defense that can stand up to this army. They need to show up with another army here.
Take it from me.
Okay, Talisman of Protection. We got ourselves another Regiment of Renown. Jorhal's got his flying mount.
The Dark Master.
So bonus magic versus... Okay, that's just the barrier for the Tzeentchian units. Let's definitely take the bonus magic first.
My prayers are answered.
So we have iron mining here. Okay, plus 10 armor for all of our Chaos Warriors. That's pretty good. And the other stuff we were doing was not nearly as expensive as I was thinking it might be, so we can afford to... do I want to delay something so that I can build the garrison structure? No, let's get all the income and everything. We'll put the garrison thing up next. So... Does that...
Don't care who you are.
Does the axes around it mean that it's their current capital? Maybe they are not because they're a player faction, they probably don't have the take our capital to vassalize us completely thing. Okay, well... Let me check something here. Okay, they're still pretty close to being willing to do a peace treaty. What I would like is to vassalize them. If you're strong enough and they accept your offer, they'll gain your protection but lose most of their diplomatic freedom. So we're going to have to take a lot of their territory if we want to do this, which is not really how I wanted to get this all done. I think I am going to run a Cursor's Boon here. Let's just get ourselves a new gate. And then we probably want to take it easy on that because we don't have easy access to Sichian units to fight anymore, and it's very, very expensive to buy those with souls. The Monolith of Flesh is a pretty cool name for a territory. I'll give them that. So we'll just start burning down their oldest cities here. The stuff that's going to have like their core economic and military structures, and see if we can't get them to realize what situation they're in. Because I don't want to have to wipe them out, but I will absolutely wipe them out. And when I say I don't want to have to wipe them out, I don't mean because, like, gosh, it sure would be a shame if they were dead. I mean because it seems like a lot of work and I have other things to do. Running back through here and grabbing a couple of Doom Keeps was probably the right call. Oh, that tiny little rogue army has attacked the Vanaheimlings. Nurgle's Rot, a vile disease birthed by Grandfather Nurgle or one of his foul minions or whatever. You know, it's just disease is just kind of always rolling off of those guys. It's given us negative growth in Grungzint, where we don't care about that at all. I think we still don't actually have enough money for this.
Call me master.
Okay, I don't particularly want to own all this stuff. We're not going to get the Tower of Crack. That belongs to a faction that we're friendly with. I kind of don't want the Altar of Crimson Harvest. That's one of those things I would much rather leave to the management of the AI. Are there any other Doom Keeps along the North Shore? It looks like no. All right.
Good. Follow me.
You know what?
Do not stop.
Get back on our side of the border so we can take another turn of replenishment here.
Archaon is weak. It should have been me.
Yeah, I think we can probably handle this. So the Monolith of Flesh only has 8 units in it. Can we see? Yeah, it's got some built up recruitment buildings. It's honestly not as powerful as I would have thought. Okay, so this army has skin wolves in it, which is interesting. These are a pretty scary kind of anti-infantry infantry. I mean, they're basically werewolves, right? One thing that I am a little concerned about is we've seen so many armies already, but we haven't seen Throg. Where the hell is Throg? Because if we can beat Throg, I feel like we'll be in a much better position to make demands. Also, I kind of want to know what the legendary Lord defeat trait is for beating him. I bet it will be a very effective boost to your one-on-one fighting capability, which is a thing Be'lakor could use.
Some call me the Dark Master.
Okay, everybody in the south is ending their non-aggression pacts with us because they think that the Vanaheimlings look like easy prey, which, yeah, fair enough, I get that. Okay, so they're about to do some very annoying attacking our actual home territory stuff. You know, we could start recruiting a secondary army without the intent of making it very large. Just put together like a half force to play defense in concert with the garrisons of friendly settlements. The Nagelfarlings are vassals, but they are becoming unruly and challenging your rule. This is not a good time for you to be doing that, friend. I'm going to grab Divert Their Energy because I don't think it matters that we build up their terrible level 1 hero, since I think this faction's probably going to stop existing quite soon anyway. Let's just divert their energies.
Take heed.
We could try to jump Ingerson. Yeah, I would rather attack Ingerson than attack the monolith itself. Because, you know, if we attack the monolith itself, they're going to get the benefit of their defenses. I think Ingerson will probably run if I do this. But let's see. Let's see what we can get out of this. Nope, he stands and fights. You know how Norskins are. They're always very afraid of looking afraid. Okay, so yeah, a completely trivial victory over some very simple enemies who didn't even think to bring any giant demon cannons. So we can considerably replenish our army or take a little bit of favor. A couple hundred extra souls is nice. We managed to pull a lot of souls out of that battle, actually. I'm going to take the big replenishment boost.
More throws. God Maker.
And then we don't quite have the movement necessary to hit the monolith before it can regenerate its garrison. Alright. Well, we'll get it next turn.
The first Demon Prince.
Alright, the Messenger of the Great Undivided. We have so much undivided authority. Minus 20% upkeep for our undivided units. That's pretty great.
Master Ascendant.
So, Warband Upgrades.
The gods were wrong
Here we
to
go, Siege.
serve me.
So if I make our warriors Chaos Warriors of Siege, they would become governed by Siege Authority instead. Yeah, I think the fact that combined with the fact that Chaos Warriors of Siege must wield halberds probably means we're never going to do that.
Harbinger.
Okay, let's grab bonus HP and Deadly Onslaught, an ability we can click every 90 seconds to get a nice big boost of, especially plus 60% charge bonus. Very significant on this unit.
The slaughter begins.
Okay, first of all, before I do anything else, let me make sure I actually build up the Forbidden Citadel's garrison a little bit. Okay, that will never improve any further. Definitely make sure we're paying into our money-making buildings first. So what do we have here? 17-unit army, yeah. Norskins are not good at defending their territory. If we were to recruit a new lord... Oh, do we not suffer logistics costs? Interesting. So with most factions, every army you recruit incurs sort of like a stacking logistics penalty. It looks like that may not be the case for this faction. There's a couple of factions that don't work that way. Plus 8 melee defense is interesting. We have the building that allows us to hire normal Chaos Sorcerers, right? Yeah, so I might want to do a Fighting Lord with a Chaos Sorcerer hero. I don't actually know what kind of skills the Chaos Lords and the Chaos Sorcerer heroes, Chaos Sorcerer Lords have. Let's take this Unearthly Reflex, this guy. So he is a little bit of upkeep by himself. And then what can we pull in the local area? You can see, like, the upkeep money. This is going to get expensive really quickly. But it's probably a good idea to have some force on hand to repel garbage like this. I might make it mostly out of Marauders for the moment, just to avoid completely crashing out our income. And these can always be upgraded to Chaos Warriors later if they play well. Bellicor can come home too, but I really don't want to spend the time doing that. I think it's pretty important we keep up the pressure here. Okay, so we have an army headed for one of our Doom Keeps, which is annoying. Interesting, that rogue army went to all the trouble of declaring war on us and then just attacked the Empire anyway. Not that I'm complaining.
They will be dominated.
No, let me start with my other lord, please.
Your death will be inconsequential.
Okay, I think I'm gonna just pass this off to my vassal, sack it, and then pass it off to the vassal so we get some money and some healing from it.
Take, then burn.
I don't want this stuff so much as I want it to be clear to the Wintertooth that they are not allowed to have it. As long as I am in the middle of, foreign territory. Are the Varg not my vassal? Oh, right. The Varg stopped existing. So we have risen them back up. Well, that seems like even more reason they should be my vassal.
Spurn me.
Okay, whatever. We can full march back to our own territory. Get some replenishment here, and then also threaten to teleport through the portal if we need to.
This victory.
And Antiro. So we're going to want to put... How likely do I think it is that I'm going to lose... Oh, right, I didn't take this one. My Doom Keep's over... Or my Dark Fortress is over here. So this army is not too close to us. It is a full-sized army now, though. They are feeling relatively serious about the thing they are doing. Yeah, I probably shouldn't... We should hold off on recruiting any further. Alright, in order to get the attuning ritual, we would need not quite all of the technologies from the blessings thing. Gives us the ability to summon a unit of pink horrors on each aspiring champion. That's actually really interesting. And it unlocks the other Gift of Siege slot. I probably want to fall back and grab some other stuff. Like, there's still a movement range bonus. It's a smaller one, but I probably should get it. Lowered allegiance costs. Warband upgrades down. I mean, that's plus 10 armor for all of the Chaos Warrior emerged units is pretty okay. Let's grab Infernal March. Getting where you're going faster is always going to be high value. What are we earning in terms of Slaanesh experience? Because we've had this running for a long time. What are we working toward? Fiends. Experience gain that probably won't matter. Slaaneshi Soul Grinders, who do not even have a ranged weapon. But these are very powerful anti-large units, if I remember correctly. So maybe we'll use them eventually. And of course, the Keeper of Secrets. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe none of that stuff matters at all. Maybe the 35% bonus move speed is its own reward. So I think the plan is going to be to go through our territory, catch some healing, and then knock these two out and just hand them back to the Varg as well. And we can see about properly vassalizing the Varg afterward. Interesting. He does seem to be headed up toward our capital. We don't have a huge garrison there. Maybe we do need to turn around and deal with this real quick. I certainly don't want to. Okay. The Raven is doing Chen, single word, shredding sanity wherever it is spoken. They say a large black bird was the first to utter it, and now all who hear it soon say nothing else, laughing hysterically as they bark into the ears of those around them. Chen, Chen, Chen! Yeah, a Raven done Pontypooled us. Okay, siege corruption in Couronne. I actually do not care about that. That does not matter. So it would really suck to lose Conquata. What is the garrison in Conquata? We do have a building slot open. The garrison's not huge. It is made up of some pretty powerful units, though. A couple of Gore Beast chariots. We have a proper Chaos Warrior there. Or what do you call it? An Exalted Hero. Do I think Ragnar of the Beast Flayers is enough of a threat that I need to turn around? I guess better safe. It's not terribly expensive for us to do this anyway.
Into darkness.
We had enough movement left over to move out of march mode so that we're not tired if he jumps us. Okay, his army is in perfect health, which is remarkable considering they just fought a battle. I guess it was a pretty small garrison. So we're going to leave the Garrison Lord exactly where he is for the moment. Waiting on the money to put up the new the garrison improvement there. Yeah, this is a real bummer, though. I'm reluctant to give an alliance attack order to the Vanaheimlings because I just don't. It would be nice to have them come and clear out one of the enemy armies, but the one of the Wintertooth armies that's near the Doomkeep. But I just don't trust them to get the job done. Gosh, they sure do have a lot of bodies in that area. Okay, yep, it was going to happen eventually. Oh, interesting. They just burned it down rather than taking it for themselves. In theory, rogue armies are supposed to be able to become real factions by claiming a territory somewhere. I'm surprised that they didn't... Huh.
I named it.
Okay, so obviously we're going to be murdering you. Let's have this army show up just to get some XP.
Gods direct me. Yes.
The cowardice.
Follow Ogre's winds.
Nope, stop. I'm trying to click on my other army here. There's so many things on top of each other.
Invade.
Okay, it will still give me the decisive victory. You know, it would only take 22 seconds for these reinforcements to arrive, in part because of all of the speed bonuses we've taken. Alright, so we wipe them out. Okay, we captured a slave master from them. Not, you know, probably terribly relevant to our whole deal. Okay. A path to glory has been unlocked for Intiro. Oh, that's true. I forgot that that was even a thing. Hold on. Let's have a look at Intiro's whole deal. Also, we got a lot of skill points out of that. So, your paths to glory. Okay. So, end your turn in a region with less than -50 control. Win a battle against any demon race. To learn to summon Chaos Furies. Win a battle against an army containing 5 missile units to get better at surviving missile attacks. Grant this character a mark of chaos to ascend them into a new form. Transformed characters will be half the rank of their previous form. All skills will be reset. Okay, yeah. That's pretty cool. It's probably okay to turn off notifications about that, because he has to get to 30 before we can even think about it. But that's a pretty neat thing to do. Oh, right. I should spend his skill points. For sure, we're going to want Route Marcher. The thing is, as the second army, we probably need to be really careful about his costs. So I might want to push up the blue line so that we can get things like... Oh, actually, he doesn't have the upkeep payout per turn reduction that most lords get access to. Okay, maybe we're not doing blue line stuff here. Well, his army's probably going to be made up of very basic troops for a while, so maybe we should take the red line skills that buff those troops. Non-demonic infantry units get attack and defense. This affects non-flying melee unit, demonic non-flying melee units, all demonic flying units and missile units. War beasts, monsters, etc. Missile cavalry, artillery. Okay, yeah. So Chaos Vanguard is the only thing we can get that's going to affect the Marauders. But at max level, it's actually pretty significant.
I am pleased. Yes, it is so.
Okay.
Never stop.
Just head back there. Once again, managed to somehow click on a button. Yeah, this button is very close to everything I'm trying to do. All right, now that we've gotten Deadly Onslaught, we don't need to be in such a hurry to get up the yellow tree anymore. So, like, what else might be valuable? Oh, right, the last point of training. I should absolutely grab that.
For chaos.
I can't believe I forgot.
The 4 token. Do not stop moving.
Okay, back through the portal. We had lots and lots of stuff to do. I guess I'm going to prioritize more income over everything else. Gosh, that's expensive. More income over everything else is definitely right, though. Oh, right. This has to get taken back. You know what? Intiro's actually totally qualified to handle this. We'll recruit like 1 or 2 more units, and then we'll We'll give this back to the Vanaheimlings. But Be'lakor has other stuff to do. And then we can probably bring Intiro forward and have him help with the push. We have to be very careful how we use that army, because it's only going to have like 8 units in it, but we can definitely provide some pressure, or some defense, as the case may need to be.
You stand before the...
What is it now? Okay, fine. We're going to be at war with every faction down here just because they all want to beat up on the Vanaheimlings. Interesting that Morslib's Howlers was able to generate 3 armies. Those rogue army factions generally don't have very much income until they get a settlement. The settlement is ablaze. Our capital caught fire. Cool, great. So that's really annoying. It doesn't really do anything. It's like a trivial cost to repair each building, but it does make them kind of not functional for a moment.
God Maker.
Just like, what if none of your stuff worked for a turn?
Obviously.
Alright, so do we want to drop in here and play catch up? Or do I want to drop in over there and be running... Let's drop in right here. And then actually, I might even be able to just declare an attack. Ah, but they're able to run away as well.
The dark.
Cowardice.
Glorifying act.
So, I think we are going to pull him out. It looks like... Yeah, Gulbrandson's going to reclaim the Isle of Wights by himself. So let's do a little bit of Warband recruitment. We can't pull in very much, sadly. Yeah, shit is expensive, unfortunately. We could just grab more units of Marauders. I really want to bring in Chaos Warriors.
You have my favor. I'll move when I choose.
Yep, just extra numbers. Okay.
There are shadows. I shall be.
We might lose the Doom Keep. That's possible. It certainly won't be a free conquer for them, even though that is a large army, because we do have walls, we do have reasonable units thanks to the garrison structure, and their army is mostly made up of stuff that's pretty bad. Even these two forces together might not actually be able to take Doom Keep. And they do not have very long to figure it out, obviously, because as soon as Be'lakor catches them, it's over. Okay, he is sieging the Doom Keep, which makes me a little curious whether he actually has backup coming. Because otherwise, I don't see how this is going to work. All right, Lamont Dahl is a non-issue by himself. Yep, there we go. We knew it was coming. Alright, so when your settlement is besieged, you do have the option of just riding out into the field and fighting the besiegers. If you don't do that, the garrison starves to death slowly. Do I think... This army is fine. We got some Chaos Warriors. We have a fair amount of Marauders, which always makes me nervous. It would actually give me a victory. We could just run them off. Oh, right, because Scylla's army is still right here. Hell yeah, let's just crush them then. We'll just execute them and take all of their favor. Yeah, that dude needed a little bit more backup before it was viable to attempt the thing he was trying there. Lamont Dahl is not a real army. I think we can take him out with just Intiro's force and let Bellicor run forward, but I also could just ignore him probably.
Yes,
what can we Warband recruit in this region? No Chaos Warriors, but we could pull like... pull a little bit more sophisticated stuff. I just want to give this army a little push, you know? Do I want a unit of trolls? If I did that and like 2 of you, that's 500, 700. Yeah, I mean, we're still positive on income. Should be a really easy battle now, and then this should be a large enough force that they can like peel off some of these lesser territories, so Bellicor doesn't have to do everything himself. Got ourselves an Iron Curse icon, which is like fine. Oh, I do need to actually equip this hero, probably. Oh, I forgot to summon his wizard. We're gonna make a wizard for this army. So first of all, we do have a spare sword. We also have a spare 5% ward save for you. And then in terms of ancillaries, wow, we just do not have very many followers or anything. How did that get unselected? Okay. Yeah, another thing I was going to do was summon in a hero, but we're getting pretty close to 0 income here. So I wanted a Chaos Sorcerer for this army. Now, Chaos Sorcerers come in 4 different schools. You know, I do like the Metal School. Iron Skin, Opened Eyes, 25 bonus armor. I wish that I wish you could see the combat stats of hero units while you're looking at purchasing them, because I think Chaos Sorcerers are generally wearing real armor anyway, which really reduces the value of something like this. We could make him a Fire Sorcerer. Enables flaming attacks and gives him a significant fire resistance. Those blessed by chaos see not only what is before them, but also what lurks in shadow, hiding in the periphery. That's pretty cool. Also, that guy's name is Rel Death Metal. Hard to argue with. We get a Death Sorcerer. I really like Metal as a school. I think let's take the Iron Skin guy, and maybe the Iron Skin won't end up mattering, but maybe he'll have just enough combat presence for it to be good. So obviously we're going to focus first on his spell line. Searing Doom is just basically like extremely sharp shards of metal raining from the sky. It is terrifying. Doesn't actually do that much damage, but it looks really cool. And the passive ability here is every time you cast a spell for 13 seconds, the whole army gets plus 12% damage. Let's definitely pull that. Unfortunately, now he's going to have to actually like run through the portal, which is it's going to take a minute. And it'd be 3,000 to get that going. I would really love it if we could just get like a little bit more cash income. None of this stuff is like that, is that kind of direct infrastructure improvement, though. It's not really what our Chaos Warhounds and Feral Manticores. Chaos Warhounds getting Gore Feast, which replenishes their HP as long as they're in melee, does make them a lot more interesting as a cheap ranged harassment unit. The Blessings of Slaanesh. Does Slaanesh have any infrastructure stuff? No, not really. All right, I kind of want to pick up more Blessings of Siege until we get access to the attuning ritual, because the ability for every aspiring champion unit to be 2 units seems pretty cool. Bonus corruption. Yeah, I mean, bonus corruption's good. It's always good to make life more difficult for the kinds of people who do not benefit from chaos corruption. Alright, so I'm not going to stress about the Grayling Moot. And Tiro's got that under control. We're just going to actually use the portal. That is why we built it. I'm not going to bother repairing these because I think Scalpake is just going to burn the thing next turn. And I feel like if I spend the money, Scalpake will definitely burn the thing. Just to show us who's boss. So a lot of the factions in the world, obviously, we still haven't met. We've only been active in a pretty small area. And I am very curious what the rest of the map looks like. I think part of what is the most fun about these like really grand modes, this and the combined mode from the second game, is getting over to some corner of the world and discovering that it has gone down in a very different way than you were expecting. Wants peace. The thing is, I just don't trust them in the long run. And yeah, we're like so negative. They're going to break a peace treaty. I want to finish this in a more serious way. Counteroffer. Okay, not even a tiny bit interested in becoming a vassal. Oh, hey, look, I found Throg. I think we may want a portal back. Then again, there's something to be said for just burning his entire infrastructure. Honestly, I don't know. Defeating him in single combat, like Be'lakor versus Throg, probably has a lot of benefits for us. Yeah, we're going to have a look. My plan is definitely to go fight him. We'll see if it's better to run from where we are or to take the portal. Because he's going for the Doom Keep, which is just like between the two portals. It's a tiny bit awkward. Alright, we'll give Scylla a place to call their own. Alright. Congratulations, you're no longer suffering attrition. So now that we've maxed out Chaos Vanguard, we do need 3 more skill points in this block to make use of this. All of the skill points we've spent so far affect all of these units. We could pursue the missile cavalry. Ammunition and missile strength up. Yeah, that seems fine.
The gods smile.
Just buff up our extremely basic units here. Okay, that's all the movement we have left. I should probably march mode. This army's gonna need to, find its way over here.
Let's be about this.
All right, you need to go and join your army quickly. All right, so
Lord of Torment.
That's weird. How did Be'lakor get an order to run? Huh. So it's going to be about 2 turns to make it to here, 3 turns to make it to the area of the Doomkeep. If we teleport back, it's like 2 turns of movement from there, but I think I do actually like that approach a little bit better. Yeah, it's going to be 3 turns either way, but here, 3 turns of movement gets us kind of nearby. Coming this way, 3 turns of movement actually makes it to the Doomkeep. So, one more time. $15-unit garrison with a 14-unit army standing nearby. They've been slowly bleeding out, but now they're healing because they have a regen. Yeah, it's a little scary. Okay, we can't pursue any financial upgrades. We'll get all this stuff figured out. I still definitely don't want to upgrade the buildings down in Corone. So what does his army look like? We can't really tell. Throg himself is only level 14. He does have his Wintertooth crown already, but the Wintertooth crown isn't really a combat thing so much. I guess it's giving him 10 melee defense. Yeah, geez, look at his stats. 72 attack, 81 defense, with frostbite on his weapon. You know, honestly, he doesn't have that much HP. He is a troll, though, and all trolls have regeneration. It's in here somewhere. He also has the ability to vomit, just like so much. Powerful explosion. Ugh. This is going to be a little scary. I'm hoping Sila's army plus the Doomkeep's garrison is enough to keep him from engaging directly until we can get closer. I have not seen a lot of characters who are really able to stand up to Throg. If we can get Be'lakor on him plus some ranged units shooting at him at the same time, the way we've built Be'lakor, we should definitely at least have... Oh, interesting. So he is raiding our territory. He is stealing 500 gold per turn from us. So if he goes into siege mode, he will no longer be raiding. He will not be taking all that money. So that might be part of it. He might need the money too badly to stop raiding.
Some call me the Dark Master.
Sure. Really? He just sacked Corone. Sacking a city that has no functional buildings really doesn't get you any money. So I'm not sure what he... Yeah, he got 260 gold from that. Alright. This region has been rebuilt. Leaf finally actually did the thing. So let's go ahead and assign something here. Construction costs down. Recruitment costs down. I mean, we certainly don't need more corruption. I guess construction costs down. And then I think this right here may be where we call it for today. I was kind of hoping to resolve this a little bit, but I don't have the time today to stay tremendously late, and we have already hit the hour. So I think with Throg deep in our territory and our armies hurtling toward him, this is where we're going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time tomorrow, we're going to deal with this and hopefully not get explosively vomited on too much. And we'll see you then.